Have you ever wondered why the moment you stop chasing, she suddenly starts noticing you more? Or why the second you relax, the dynamic shifts? Hi, my name is Julia, and I am here to break down the complexity of women as a woman myself and expert in women's psychology. If you are new here, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to like so that other people can see this video. A lot of men misunderstand distance. They think silence means rejection. They think slower replies mean loss. They think when she pulls away, the connection is dying. But in modern dating, distance is not always disinterest. Sometimes it's emotional overload, sometimes it's internal processing, sometimes it's attachment forming faster than she expected. When a woman feels nothing, she moves on without drama, no confusion, no hesitation, no internal debate. She simply exits. But when she starts caring, everything changes. She becomes more aware of her emotions. She starts thinking ahead. She wonders where this is going. She asks herself if she's investing too much. She evaluates you. She evaluates herself. That internal evaluation often looks like withdrawal. And here's where most men lose power. They react. They text more. They seek reassurance. They try to fix the mood. They increase effort to regain control. What they don't realize is that their reaction confirms her fear that the connection is becoming intense too quickly. Modern dating has trained people to avoid appearing emotionally invested. So when feelings rise, some individuals create space to feel safe again. That space is not always a sign of exit. It can be a sign of attachment. The real question is not why she pulled away. The real question is how you respond. Your response determines whether attraction grows or collapses. If you become anxious, you lower your value. If you become cold and punish her, you damage trust. If you stay calm, steady, and centered, you become the emotional anchor. Women test stability without announcing it. They observe consistency. They notice whether your confidence depends on their attention. They pay attention to whether you remain composed when the energy shifts. When she pulls back, she is not just stepping away from you. She is stepping back to observe the impact you have on her. She is measuring her own feelings. She is checking whether this connection feels safe, sustainable, and balanced. And if she's emotionally attached, distance will not erase that attachment. It will reveal it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what her withdrawal really means, the mistakes men make in that moment, and how to respond in a way that strengthens attraction instead of weakening it. Because when you understand the psychology behind her pullback, you stop chasing confusion and you start leading the connection. 1. She needs control. When she pulls away right after things feel intense, your first instinct might be to close the gap. Don't. What you're witnessing is not a loss of interest. It's a need for emotional balance. When feelings rise quickly, especially in modern dating where everyone pretends to be detached, it can feel like losing control. And control equals safety. If she starts thinking about you more than she planned to, if she checks her phone hoping it's you, if your mood affects hers, that realization can shake her. Pulling back is her way of regaining emotional footing. Now listen carefully. If she truly didn't care, she wouldn't need space. Indifference doesn't create tension. Attachment does. The problem is most men misread distance as rejection, so they react emotionally. They send long messages asking what changed. They start over-explaining themselves. They try to fix something that isn't broken. And the moment you try to force clarity, she feels pressure. Pressure confirms her fear that this is becoming heavy. Heavy feels risky, so she pulls back further. You have to understand the psychology here. When she steps back, she's observing you. She wants to see if your confidence was real or performance-based. If your calm energy disappears the moment she creates space, she subconsciously loses respect. Emotional steadiness is attractive. Emotional volatility is not. The modern dating world rewards composure. When she tests the distance, she's asking one silent question. Does he need me to act a certain way for him to feel secure? If the answer is yes, she feels burdened. If the answer is no, she feels safe. A man who can maintain his rhythm, his focus, his routine, even when she pulls back, communicates strength without saying a word. That steadiness lowers her guard. It tells her she can feel deeply without being consumed. You don't chase, you don't confront, you don't withdraw in anger, You simply match energy calmly. If she texts less, you text less. If she slows down, you slow down, not as punishment, as alignment. This shows emotional intelligence. It shows you're aware without being reactive. And here's the truth most men miss. When she sees that her temporary distance doesn't shake you, she feels the space to lean back in on her own. Attraction grows in freedom, not in pressure. If she senses that you're stable, whether she's close or slightly distant, she starts trusting the connection again. Pulling away was never about escaping you. It was about regulating herself. And when you respond with grounded confidence instead of anxiety, you pass the unspoken test. That's when she starts moving toward you again, quietly, gradually, but intentionally. 2. Testing your frame. When she pulls away, there's another layer most men never see. She's testing your emotional frame, not in a manipulative way, in a subconscious way. She wants to know if your confidence is solid or situational. In the beginning, it's easy to be relaxed. She's responsive, she's warm, she's giving you reassurance without you asking. Any man can feel strong when everything is flowing smoothly, but strength shows up when the energy shifts, when her replies slow down, when she becomes less predictable, when she stops giving you constant validation. This is where most men collapse internally. They start overanalyzing every message. They reread conversations. They watch her activity. They start building stories in their head. And then they react. The reaction is what she's watching. If you suddenly become needy, overly available, or emotionally dramatic, she sees that your confidence depended on her behavior. That's unstable. And instability kills attraction. A woman wants to feel that you have an emotional center that doesn't move every time the wind changes. When she pulls back, she's observing whether you still lead your life with purpose. Are you still focused? Are you still grounded? Or does your mood now depend on how fast she responds? Here's what strong men do differently. They notice the shift. They adjust their investment slightly, and then they continue living. No announcements, no speeches, no cold punishment, just steady presence. This communicates something powerful. I enjoy you, but I am not controlled by you. That energy creates respect, and respect fuels attraction long-term. Modern dating has trained women to expect emotional overreactions. Many men panic when uncertainty appears. So when you don't panic, you immediately separate yourself from the majority. Silence does not scare a secure man. Space does not intimidate him. He understands that connection breathes. If she is emotionally attached, the distance will start affecting her too. She'll wonder why you're so calm. She'll notice you didn't chase. That curiosity pulls her back stronger than pressure ever could. Testing your frame isn't about games. It's about emotional resilience. She wants to know that if things ever get challenging, you won't crumble. Because relationships are not always intense and affectionate. There are natural waves. If you show that you can handle a small wave without drowning, she starts picturing you as someone stable long-term. And stability feels safe. If you chase during her pullback, you communicate fear of loss. Fear reduces perceived value. If you stay centered, you communicate choice. Choice increases value. She doesn't consciously think these words. She feels them. Attraction is felt more than explained. So when she pulls away, breathe. Keep your posture mentally straight. Keep your responses measured. Keep your life moving forward. Let her see that your world doesn't collapse when she steps back. That's the moment she starts leaning forward again. 3. Overthinking the connection. When she starts pulling away after things felt intense, there's a strong chance she's inside her own head. Women who feel deeply often analyze deeply. She replays conversations. She questions timing. She wonders if this is moving too fast. She asks herself if she's about to lose independence. She checks her own emotions before she lets them run freely. And while she's doing all that, you see distance. What you don't see is the mental noise behind it. Here's where most men go wrong. They assume silence means certainty. It doesn't. Silence can mean processing. When a woman feels unexpectedly attached, especially in today's fast disposable dating culture, she slows herself down. She doesn't want to be the one who falls too quickly. She doesn't want to look naive. She doesn't want to invest in something that might disappear. So she pulls back to evaluate. Now pay attention to this. If she truly wasn't invested, she wouldn't need to evaluate anything, she would just drift. The fact that she's thinking means she cares enough to measure the risk, and risk only matters when value is present. When she overthinks, she may reduce communication, she may become less expressive, she may not initiate as much. That shift triggers insecurity in many men. They start asking heavy questions like, "Where is this going?" or "Why are you acting different?" That pressure increases her anxiety. She's already in her head. Now she feels rushed to provide clarity she hasn't fully processed herself. A grounded man does something different. He allows space without emotional withdrawal. He keeps interactions light. He doesn't demand emotional definitions during her processing phase. He understands that clarity forced too early often backfires. The modern dating world moves fast. People connect quickly, share deeply, then suddenly realize they're exposed. That exposure can feel uncomfortable. Pulling back becomes a way to slow the emotional pace. If you respond with calm patience, you give her room to sort through her feelings without associating you with stress. And here's the powerful part. When she finishes processing and realizes you didn't pressure her, didn't chase her, didn't guilt her, she feels relief. Relief creates comfort. Comfort rebuilds attraction. Emotional maturity stands out today. Most men either cling or disappear completely. The balanced approach is rare. You stay consistent but not intense, present but not demanding, interested but not anxious. When she senses that you're not trying to control the pace, she starts feeling safe to move closer again. Overthinking fades when pressure fades, and attachment grows strongest in environments that feel stable. So when she pulls away, don't immediately assume loss. Consider that she may be organizing emotions she didn't expect to feel. Your role is simple. Stay steady. Stay composed. Let her think. Let her miss you a little. Let her feel the space you calmly allow. If she's emotionally attached, that space will pull her back toward you naturally. 4. Protecting her feelings. Sometimes when she pulls away, it's not about losing interest. It's about protecting herself. When emotions start growing, especially after she told herself she would stay casual, there's a shift inside her. She starts imagining outcomes. She starts picturing what it would feel like if this didn't work out. And that future pain, even if it hasn't happened, feels real. So she instinctively creates space, not to hurt you, to shield herself. A woman who feels nothing doesn't need protection. She moves freely. She invests lightly. She disappears without hesitation. But when she feels attached, she becomes cautious. She notices how much she enjoys talking to you. She notices how safe she feels opening up. That safety makes her vulnerable. Vulnerability is beautiful, but it's also risky. In the modern dating world, many people have experienced sudden endings, ghosting, emotional inconsistency, broken promises. So when she feels herself caring deeply, her brain reminds her of past pain. Distance becomes a defense mechanism. Now here's where you come in. If you respond to her protective distance with frustration, accusations, or pressure, you reinforce her fear. She starts thinking, "This is exactly why I shouldn't have gotten attached." But if you respond with calm, understanding energy, without even announcing it, you send a different message. You communicate stability. You communicate that you are not reactive. You communicate that she can move at a pace that feels safe. Protection lowers when safety increases. Most men make the mistake of trying to force reassurance. They want immediate confirmation. They want guarantees. They want her to declare feelings while she's still sorting them out. That intensity feels like emotional risk multiplied. A confident man does not demand emotional proof. He allows emotional growth. He keeps conversations positive. He doesn't overinvest during her pullback, but he doesn't punish her either. He subtly mirrors the pace. This keeps balance intact. If she is emotionally attached, she will feel the difference. She will notice that you didn't react dramatically. She will feel that her space wasn't met with hostility. That creates trust. Trust reduces the need for protection. And when protection lowers, closeness increases again. Here's something important. When a woman protects her feelings, she's already emotionally involved. You don't guard something that has no value. Her distance might look like indifference, but underneath it can be fear of losing something meaningful. If you stay grounded, you become the safe place instead of the threat. That shift is powerful. Over time, she will lean back in on her own, not because you chased, not because you convinced her, but because she felt safe enough to stop guarding herself. And safety builds stronger attachment than intensity ever could. 5. Wanting to feel chosen. There's another reason she pulls back when she's emotionally attached. She wants to feel chosen without asking for it. When feelings grow, a quiet question forms in her mind. Is he investing because he truly wants me, or because I'm available? That question matters more than you think. In the beginning, attention flows easily. Both of you are curious, both of you are engaged, but when attachment starts forming, she becomes more observant. She watches your consistency. She notices your effort. She measures your intentionality. Pulling back slightly allows her to see what you do without her pushing the interaction forward. Now understand this clearly. This is not about chasing her harder. It's about showing steady interest without desperation. If she reduces effort and you immediately double yours, it can look like you're afraid to lose her. Fear doesn't feel like strength, but if she pulls back and you disappear completely, it can look like your interest was shallow. Neither extreme works. She wants to feel that you are choosing her calmly, that you value her specifically, not just the attention, not just the company, her. When she steps back, she's creating space to observe your baseline behavior. Do you still initiate occasionally? Do you still speak with warmth? Do you still plan with intention? Or do you withdraw emotionally because your ego feels bruised? Many men react from pride. They think, if she's pulling away, I'll show her I don't care. That reaction feels defensive. Defensive energy creates emotional distance. Instead, the mature move is subtle consistency. You don't increase pressure. You don't decrease care drastically. You maintain your natural rhythm. This communicates emotional security. It says, I'm interested and I'm steady. When a woman feels chosen without having to beg for attention, attachment deepens. But when she senses she has to compete for your effort or question your intentions, uncertainty grows. In modern dating, people are used to mixed signals. So when you provide clear but calm interest, you stand out. Here's the key. Don't overperform. Don't try to impress her into staying close. Just continue being grounded and intentional. If she's emotionally attached, your steadiness will pull her forward again. She will begin to lean back in because she feels valued without feeling pressured. That balance is powerful. Wanting to feel chosen is natural. She won't always say it directly. Instead, she may create space to see if your actions align with your earlier energy. If they do, trust builds. And when trust builds, she relaxes. When she relaxes, she opens up again. Pulling away was never about losing feelings. It was about measuring depth. If you pass that quiet measurement with composure, the connection grows stronger than before. 6. Emotional depth scares. When a woman feels a connection that goes deeper than surface attraction, it can shake her. Physical chemistry is easy to manage. Flirting is light. Casual energy feels safe because nothing serious is at stake. But when conversations become meaningful, when she feels understood, when she catches herself thinking about you during quiet moments, that's different. Depth creates impact, and impact creates vulnerability. If she's emotionally attached, she may suddenly realize that you're not just another option. You matter. Your opinion matters. Your presence matters. And that level of influence can feel overwhelming, especially if she has been hurt before, especially if she prides herself on being independent. Emotional depth challenges independence. It asks her to trust someone else with her inner world. That's not a small step. So she pulls back, not because she wants less of you, because she feels more than she expected. Many men misinterpret this. They assume that if things were going well and then she withdraws, it means something went wrong. Sometimes nothing went wrong. Sometimes the connection simply crossed into real territory. And real territory forces reflection. Here's where your mindset matters. If you react to her withdrawal by becoming overly emotional or demanding reassurance, you make depth feel heavier. She starts associating the connection with pressure instead of comfort. But if you stay grounded, you show her that emotional closeness with you doesn't come with chaos. It comes with stability. That's rare. Depth without drama is powerful. In today's dating world, intensity often comes with volatility. People bond fast and fall apart fast. When she senses real emotional depth forming, she may instinctively slow things down to make sure it's solid. She wants to confirm that this connection isn't just a rush. She wants to see if it's steady. If you remain calm and balanced, you prove that depth with you is not overwhelming, it's secure, and security builds attachment. Here's something important. If she was only mildly interested, depth wouldn't scare her. She would enjoy it lightly or step away without internal conflict. Fear only shows up when something valuable is on the line. When she pulls back during deep connection, it often means she's weighing how much you matter. That's not a loss. That's a sign of significance. Your role is simple. Don't force deeper talks while she's stepping back. Don't interrogate the shift. Continue leading your life. Keep conversations relaxed. Let her return to depth on her own timing. When she feels that you're emotionally steady, she'll start leaning back into those meaningful exchanges. And when she does, it will feel stronger because she chose to come back. Depth handled with calm confidence turns temporary distance into stronger attachment. 7. She's waiting to miss you. There's one final truth most men never consider. Sometimes when she pulls away, she's giving herself the chance to feel your absence. When emotions grow fast, everything becomes intense. Constant texting, constant interaction, constant availability. That intensity can blur clarity. So she steps back to see what happens when you're not right in front of her attention. She wants to feel the contrast. She wants to know if she actually misses you, if she thinks about you when you're not initiating, if her day feels slightly quieter without your presence. That space is not always a threat. It can be a test of emotional gravity. Here's where men usually sabotage themselves. The moment they sense distance, they fill it. They send more messages. They create more contact. They try to stay on her mind constantly. But when you remove all space, she never gets the opportunity to feel your absence. And absence is powerful. Missing someone builds emotional clarity. It answers questions silently. If she's emotionally attached, distance won't erase you. It will amplify you. She'll notice the shift. She'll check her phone. She'll wonder what you're doing. She'll replay moments in her head. But that only happens if you allow space to exist. This doesn't mean disappearing dramatically. It means respecting the rhythm she sets. If she slows down, you don't chase the previous pace. You adjust naturally. You let conversation breathe. You let silence exist without panic. Confidence is comfortable with quiet. In modern dating, many people are addicted to constant validation. When you're not scrambling to keep her attention, you stand out. You communicate that you value connection, but you're not dependent on constant contact. That independence is attractive, and it creates room for her emotions to surface. If she truly isn't attached, space will create more distance. That's clarity. But if she is attached, space will make her lean in. She'll initiate. She'll ask questions. She'll subtly increase effort. Not because you pressured her, because she felt your absence and didn't like it. That realization strengthens attachment. Think about it. You don't miss someone who overwhelms your space. You miss someone who adds value and then allows you to breathe. When she pulls away, she may be unconsciously testing how life feels without constant interaction. Your job is to remain centered. Continue your routine. Stay productive. Stay socially active. Not to provoke jealousy. To maintain your own emotional balance. When she senses that you're not waiting anxiously, it creates respect. And respect fuels desire. Let her feel the quiet. Let her feel the gap. If she's emotionally attached, that gap will draw her back towards you naturally. And when she returns, it won't be forced. It will be chosen. When she pulls away, don't panic, don't chase, don't assume it's over. Most of the time, distance appears when emotions get real. Attachment creates fear. Fear creates space. How you handle that space decides everything. Stay calm, stay steady, keep your life moving. Let her feel your absence. Let her process. If she's emotionally attached, she will lean back in, not because you forced it, because she chose it. And when a woman chooses you after having space to walk away, that connection is stronger, deeper, and far more real than anything pressure could ever create.